Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Pro Division for the Ventura Open Tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. You can become a master in this game and crush tournament like us rest by becoming a Patreon. Link to patreon.com/golfclashtommy is in the description down below. Here in this playthrough, you will see me play with lower level clubs, you will see me play with higher level clubs. I'm trying to give you everything of all. We're going to play with, power 1 balls, power 2 balls, power 3 balls, power 5 balls. But most definitely, I'm going to provide you adjustment that will be getting you close and also in the hole. And that's what a playthrough is made to be done. That's my goal, always bring you the best possible quality in all my playthroughs. Do not hesitate to ask if you do have any questions. Go to golfclashtommy.com, fill in the contact form, or you just post your comment in the comment section below. Info box on the right hand side to see the elevation for the drive, for the second shot, but also what type of ball and club that I feel is going to be key. Also in the end, when following me through the streams through the week, there might be tweaks, or like there most definitely be tweaks, there might be different routes played. So make sure you check out the streams as well, but most definitely pay attention here to the playthrough. Thank you so much everybody, and let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, we are going to play with the extra mile and the power 2 ball. The reason we play with a power 2 ball and not power 1 ball or power 3 ball, it's due to that we do want to have a little bit more distance. I'm playing with 4.5 bar topspin and as much as side spin to the right possible. The thing that I want you to have in mind is that we do want to reach over the rough. It's not wrong to use a power 3 ball if you do not feel comfortable playing as close as we do here with the rough. You have to have in mind that we only have the extra mile level 6. And the extra mile level 6 is not really the club with the most distance, but as we can just reach over, that's going to be helpful. But if you once again feel uncomfortable, you might not be having solid adjustments lately and stuff, then you play with a power 3 ball, give yourself a little bit more distance. But if you're gonna do that, then make sure to choose a different topspin. You need to play with only 4 bars of topspin, still the same max side spin if you play with a power 3 ball. And the reason we reduce the topspin is because we obviously don't want to roll into the rough there on top. Second shot after play the drive max plus 10. We're gonna play now medium distance with no elevation. Always measure your club range when you stretch out to max and go back to minimum. 1.5 to 2 bars of backspin is what we're going to play. More backspin if we have a shorter drive. Less backspin if we have a longer drive, because the ball guideline is going to be longer or shorter depending on distance of your drive. First bounce on the green, aim for the hole, and then get in the hole. The thing that we could do as well, if you do have a higher level, like short iron, that do have at least 4.0 ball guideline, is to use the funnel that is on the top right corner of the green. But as we don't have that, and as I feel this is a very solid adjustment, my first recommendation will be to go directly at the hole, get the eagle, and be happy. So, for option number 1, here on hole number 2, we're playing with the Guardian. And the Guardian is going to have, you see here, it's going to be 7.5 backspin. Have that in mind if playing with a higher level. Don't use just a max backspin, so 7.5 is perfect. Now, I've made the game screen a little bit bigger to note this one little key thing. Look at the second bounce, so that's going to be approximately 2.5 green squares before the pin. Very, very important, because that little thing is going to make us get the distance all the time. Now we adjust maximum distance with a 20% over adjustment. So the second elevation number, you can see that we're coming very, very nicely, but we are too much to the right. And the reason we are too much to the right is because we were stupid enough to offset to the right, trying to compensate for the wind that way as well. So the only thing we do, 7.5 bar backspin, aim for the pin with the tip of the ball guide, or second bounce being 2.5 green squares before the pin. That goes for all levels of Guardian. Second approach is for those of you having at least Goliath level 8 or 8 plus. The reason it's because with a lower level Goliath we cannot see the ball guideline, and then this rough bump is going to be extremely difficult. So now first and foremost, there we see we have 6 topspin. We're going with a little bit more. We're going 6.5 here, if I'm counting it correct, 6.5, and also side spin to the left with the Goliath level 9, top of yellow by the end of rough, with the red bottom part by the bunker. Now in this example, I adjust maximum distance, no elevation. But as you can see here with the result, we are going to have to play it 10% over adjustment, because we come in very nicely here. The roll is perfect, but we do miss it approximately half a green square to the left of the pin. So if we just add the 10% there, as it's the first elevation number in the info box, then we're gonna be fine. So first, one with the Guardian, and then also we do have with the Goliath. You may be wondering, why do I don't suggest a sniper? It's because we do need to have a level 9 plus sniper to play the backspin shot, as explained here in this guide. For hole number 3, we're going to come to one of the better albatross chances we have in the whole game, in my opinion. And I'm going to show you why. First, I'm going to not go full blast with this type of wind. I've learned the hard way that we do not get any consistency here. If you do have a good skill with using power slices, and you also have superior clubs and possibility to play with power 5 ball, I'm not going to be against it, but you're going to notice that we will be able to find the albatross here in a good way anyway. Maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. I'm using 2.5 bar top spin and as much side spin to the left possible, starting with the right side of the white ring by the rough to give ourselves a reference, meaning then we can know that we have the same starting point all the time instead of just having the rings in the center of the fairway. We're getting up to a yardage which is 324, and that's going to leave us up with a sniper. And here you don't have to play with a sniper level 10 obviously, but the thing that you have to play with is the sniper, because we're looking for the funnel. Look at the tip of my ball guideline here, and actually we're going to just reduce the screen a little bit so we see it all. So 2 bars of backspin and then 2.5 bar side spin to the left. You see there, the ball guideline is basically stuck, which means that's a funnel. So if you can just hit that funnel now, we're going to have a nice little albatross. Now my adjustment is going to be a little bit more than minimum distance, but in the end I should be played it the same way, but added just a click more backspin there, leaving the ball guideline short of pin, because the tailwind here is going to push our ball that hard that you can see we're coming in, we catch the funnel nicely, but we come in too hot, so it basically goes down and up again. So we need a little bit more backspin, but that's a way on hole number 3 that I will be playing, because I like consistency. And if we play with a quarterback and then a sniper all the time, we get consistency. In my opinion, that's going to be easier generally to get the albatross all the time. For hole number 4, we're playing with the Goliath, and here I'm adding spin first, which is 4 backspin. You can see that I'm in the end choosing half a bar of, 4 bars side spin to the right and half a bar of backspin. The thing that I would like us to do is to keep the half a bar of backspin, but play with 6 bars of side spin instead. The thing that we're then going to do is to adjust for maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment power 2 ball settings. And this shot can be done with whatever long iron that you're having. You don't have to play with, with the Goliath level 9, meaning you can play with whatever type of level Goliath you're having. And just that you do need the distance, very important. Power 2 ball, Goliath, 10% over adjustment. You may be wondering, why don't we play with a sniper as normal on this hole? It's because we are going to go in between clubs with the straight tailwind that we're having. So therefore we're choosing left side, long iron, Goliath in this case, have the distance, power 2 ball, 6 bars of side spin to the right and half a bar of backspin. Let's go to hole number 5, and we're going to play with an extra mile, or let's say like this, we do want to have a driver with distance combined with a power 3 ball. The power 3 ball not so much for the drive, but especially for the second shot. And here you can see that I'm using as max a side spin to the left as much as I possibly can. I'm also using 4.5 bar topspin. The thing that we could do here is to actually reduce the topspin just a little bit. We don't have to, but it would be recommended if we do so, because we don't want to go too far here. You see that we are very close to be on the right hand side of this fairway, and look now when the camera angle is coming, the trees there is going to be an issue if we go too far. 10% over adjustment for the drive, and we're playing the drive medium distance number. Second shot, we have the big dog. You can see here now that as we are playing over the trees, we are eventually going to adjust back, and then the tree is going to clip the ball guidelines. So you see here, so when I do adjust for this shot, I do adjust, but then I will have to compensate with curls. So I can curl around the trees, and therefore, you know, speaks towards, again, the fact that don't go too far with your drive, rather go with a shorter drive and then use more topspin. We're getting very close getting the albatross here in hole 5, but it's a massive bonus. We're going to use all from 1 to 5 bars of topspin, depending on how far we are having towards the pin. A good reference here, if we use to take a look at second shot again, is to, if we are this high up, using 1 bar of topspin, where you see the second bounce being just by the fringe, is a perfect distance estimation. So if you are further back, obviously, we need to use a little bit more topspin and it's more feeling. But this is a reference that you can use. Not, again, it's an alba chance, but not big at all. For hole number 6, we unfortunately do not have any type of tailwind, not even a flat crosswind here. So we're going to go straight forward, half of the red ring inside the rough, max the topspin, and we're using 2 bars of side spin to the right. Here, it's not wrong to use more side spin to the right to compensate for an eventual great shot to the left. Not that the great shot to the left will get us into the rough in any form, but it will take us closer to the pin, which means that we could risk going in between clubs for the second shot. 10% over adjustment is what we're gonna do, and once again, we are not playing for the green directly because we do have headwind. But, however, if you do have the possibility of maybe using a wind 3 power 5 ball, and you play with the big topper, Thor's Hammer 6, Thor's Hammer 5, maybe Extra Mile 9, you know, superior clubs, superior balls, then you have a possibility to go through the trees. It's still going to be risky, and you're sometimes going to get stuck behind a tree, but you still have a possibility to risk that and go for the green. I want to have it said, but that is not a setup that I'm going to provide here in Pro. Second shot is going to be with a straight tailwind, and these type of approaches are so valuable. You know, getting a straight shot in the wind, it's kind of one of the easier things to adjust for. I'm using 4 bars of backspin here because I want to keep myself very close to minimum distance line without obviously going into, you know, in between clubs. 1.6 is minimum distance with no elevation. And as you can see, once again, I left the ball guideline a little bit short due to the tailwind that we're having. Perfect ball, and you're gonna see this one drop every single time you hit perfect if you just adjust it correctly there. Good chance, but again, if we do have a drive that we have from the beginning that is more to the left, we're gonna have to use a little bit more backspin as we did now. If we are more to the right, we can use less backspin, keep ourselves close to the minimum distance line, and then still have a super good chance for an eagle here in hole number 6. For hole number 7, we are going to play with the sniper and also with a kingmaker. Here you can see that we play with the sniper level 5, and the reason I do play with a lower level sniper here is to display that this shot is possible to do with whatever sniper we're actually having. We're using the yellow ring to be there on top of the rough line. You could see there by looking at the ball guideline that I aimed slightly to the right. This because to make sure that we do have a little room here when it comes to adjusting and if we're going to miss. 3 bars of backspin is absolutely perfect, and we are obviously should be aiming at the hole there. This is a very good chance for a hole-in-one in my opinion. Great left and great right is still fine, but if you feel uncomfortable with that rough bump, play on the island before, but in my opinion, the rough bump is going to be the best way to make an hole-in-one. So just summarize real quick. 3 bars of backspin, ball guideline to the hole, 10% over adjustment, maximum distance numbers. That goes for all levels of snipers. So even if you have more distance on a sniper level, you know, 8, 9, 10, you're still going to play maximum distance number 10%. Kingmaker to reduce the win, not a must, but very nice. For hole number 8, we're going to play with the driver that gives us the most distance. And here it is my extra mile level 6. 4.5 bar side spin to the right. And also I'm using 1 bar of topspin. But I would say use only half a bar of topspin instead. Adjust maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. Once you are done, you push up your target half a ring. And it's very important that before you do that, you turn the screen around, you see the ball guideline being straight down. If you don't do that, you will push up in an angle that will potentially put yourself way off your intended landing spot. Now, as I'm using 1 bar of topspin, we're getting that shot very, very close to the rough line. So we, again, as I said, we can play with just half a bar of topspin, then we're gonna be fine with our drive. Second shot, we're using the top part of the yellow ring just by the rough line. And now we're using 3 bars of backspin, trying to align the tip of the ball guideline with the pin here. And the adjustment is going to be medium distance with a 10% over adjustment. And this is a hole that I will, in the updated guides, be able to provide yardage notes here for this particular hole, because we play straight forward, then we have a second shot that's completely straight, which is in the end gonna be hopefully in the hole instead of this close as we're getting it here. Good chance, however. The drive is tough. Make sure that you play that one carefully, but if you make the drive correct, we have a good chance for an eagle. Last but not least, we do have hole number 9, and here I want you to play with the quarterback. 3 bars of topspin, 4.5 bar side spin to the left, and we are in maximum distance. If you have a quarterback with more distance, which is quarterback 9, quarterback 10, you will just try to mirror the red ring by the rough line instead of going in max distance here. Reason we don't want to go in entirely max distance is due to the fact that we then will go too far. 1.5 ball curl left, so don't use max curl. So 1.5 ball curl left, and we're going to bounce on the fairway, get ourselves up to a nice distance here on the fairway, which will help us big time approaching the pin. Do I see this hole as an albatross hole? No, I don't. And, you know, sure, we could maybe try to trickle that rough bump in, but with a great left, I'm dead. So the thing that I do here, I play this one for an eagle, as I do believe strongly that the albatross is going to be too hard to get in general. So the thing that we're going to do is that we're going to bounce before the rough, trying to just land it on green. 3.5 bar backspin, and we're looking for as much left spin possible here. You can see that we have a very nice little sticky position there with the ball guideline, which obviously is going to help us big time try to get that one consistently to green. You see, when I made my adjustment, I made that adjustment with maximum distance minus 10%. And once I did that adjustment, I did get my ball guideline clipped off a tree. So I had to use curl there to compensate. And that curl is going to be different depending on your position. It could be sometimes you need to go with a little bit more curl and sometimes a little bit more left. So really be cautious with that type of shot. But in the end, we're playing it for an eagle. So in whatever way you get it to green, be okay with that. And the drops is going to come on other holes in this tournament, in my opinion. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Pro Division for the Ventura Open Tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and make sure that you get the best guides on the market, yardage notes, screenshot of landing position, VPR tables, but most definitely an advantage over other opponents that you can bring home a better score. Patreon.com/GolfClashTommy, link in the description down below. Make sure that you comment if you do have any questions. Don't forget to hit thumbs up. Thank you so much, and good luck in your Golf Clash game.